Some researchers think that with forefoot strike running, you may not be as vulnerable to injuries such as shin splints and runner's knee as compared with heel strike running, largely because landing with a forefoot strike when running engages other mechanical outputs that help reduce high collisional impact, which in turn may prevent high compressive loads from being produced on the shins and the knees. However, if you are a forefoot strike runner grappling with shin splints, you may be landing too high up on your toes and not letting your heel drop down to the ground, rather than landing with a much flatter foot placement and letting your heel drop. Remember, forefoot running isn't toe strike running. Forefoot running actually involves a much flatter foot placement. Toe strike running and forefoot running are two different things, whereby the problem with striking really high up on your toes when running is that there's a greater response from the shin muscles to work harder to try and stabilize the ankle and the foot when the foot is propped up really high up on the toes at touchdown. Also, when striking too high up on the toes, the contact area of the foot at touchdown is smaller, which may hinder balance control. This may increase muscle activation in the shins to compensate for footstep instability generated by the relatively small surface area of contact at touchdown when striking really high up on the toes. So as you can see, there seems to be more compensatory efforts of the lower leg when striking too high up on the toes during running, which may eventually stress the shins to pain-inducing levels. Another problem with striking too high up on the toes when running is that according to a 1994 study in the journal Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy, which is linked down below this video in the description box, revealed that running too high up on the toes led to excessive pressure on the forefoot, which may increase the risk of metatarsal stress fracture. And this type of overloads to one area of the foot without dissipating over a larger area may cause more vigorous muscle tuning response or more shock attenuation response in the muscles of the lower leg. So there now may be extra requirements of the shin muscles to work harder to absorb the excessive impact. So this is how landing too high up on the toes may cause the shins to overwork and may make them more vulnerable to injury. Conversely, a proper forefoot strike landing involves a much lower or smaller strike angle or a much flatter foot placement, which results in a larger surface area of the foot to contact the ground, of which impact is better able to spread over a larger area of the foot, so there may be less impact transferred to the shin on account of lower levels of impact stress correlates with relatively larger surface area of contact during running. Not only that, because there's a larger contact area of the foot with the ground, may provide better landing stability, and because of this, the lower leg may need to work less hard at holding the foot more stable at touchdown with a flatter foot placement at landing when running. So just remember that landing too high up on your toes may lead to insufficient impact absorption, of which the shins may bear the expense of the more intense degree of impact, and may cause greater muscle force generation in the shins to produce greater postural control of the foot, whereas striking much lower on the forefoot when running may do a better job at reducing shin strain by providing a more stable landing interface with really no point throughout the foot that gets high impact pressure overloads delivered to it, thereby enabling the little amount of impact that is produced during forefoot running to spread more efficiently. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to hit the thumbs up button as well as the subscribe button if you haven't already, where you will stay more informed on forefoot strike running versus heel strike running, as well as more informed on the benefits of barefoot running. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Have fun out there on the roads and trails. Bye for now.